take a breath. No, really, just for a second, stop scrolling, stop rushing, and take a deep breath. If your mind feels loud right now, if your emotions feel heavy, like a weight sitting right on the center of your chest, if you can't seem to shut off your thoughts, even when your body is absolutely exhausted, this message found you for a reason. Have you ever laid in bed at 2 a.m. staring at the ceiling, replaying a conversation from 3 years ago? Or maybe you felt that sudden rush of panic in the grocery store because the lights were just a little too bright and the noise was just a little too loud. We live in a world that tells us to keep going, to push harder, to grind. But what happens when your internal battery isn't just low, but completely disconnected? Welcome to Cypress Speaks, the healing mind, your space for softness, introspection, and emotional restoration. Today, we aren't just giving you a list of tips. We are going deep into the psychology of why you feel this way. We are going to explore why you feel overwhelmed, why the overthinking won't stop, and most importantly, how to finally calm the storm inside your mind. You're not broken, you're just carrying too much. Let's unpack it together. In our society, we often mistake emotional overwhelm for weakness. We tell ourselves, I should be able to handle this. Everyone else is handling this. But emotional overwhelm isn't a character flaw. It isn't a failure. It is a biological response. It is your nervous system screaming for relief. Think of your brain like a computer browser. Right now, you might have 50 tabs open. One tab is work stress, another is family expectations, another is financial worry, and another is that awkward thing you said 5 days ago. You are trying to process all of this data simultaneously. Eventually, the fan starts whirring really loud, the screen freezes, and the system crashes. That crash, that is overwhelm. Psychologically, when the brain senses emotional danger, which can be anything from a tight deadline to a fear of rejection, it switches into survival mode. You've heard of this fight, flight, freeze, but there is a fourth one that we often forget: fawn. This is when you try to please everyone around you to avoid conflict. The problem is, even when the danger has passed, even when you are safe at home on your couch, your brain can stay stuck in that survival mode. It's like a smoke detector that keeps beeping even after the toast is done burning. Your body is flooded with cortisol and adrenaline, preparing you for a battle that isn't happening. This is why you feel on edge. This is why you snap at people you love. Your brain isn't trying to hurt you or sabotage your happiness. It's trying to protect you. It's just working a little too hard. So, why is this happening to you? Why does it seem like some people can let things roll off their backs while you absorb every emotion like a sponge? Usually the root of overwhelm isn't what happened to you today. It's what has been happening to you for years. You feel overwhelmed because chances are you are carrying too much alone. Let's look at the psychology of the strong one. Maybe you grew up in a house where you had to be the responsible one. Maybe your parents were emotionally unavailable, or perhaps you were the peacemaker between fighting family members. You learned very early on that your feelings were a burden, so you swallowed them. You taught yourself not to feel because feeling was inconvenient. But here is the truth about human psychology. Unprocessed emotions do not disappear. They are matter. They have weight. They sit quietly in the basement of your subconscious. They build pressure. Imagine a dam. For years, you've been holding back the water of sadness, the water of anger, the water of grief. And one day, someone says something small, maybe they cancel plans or they use a tone of voice you don't like, and the dam breaks. You find yourself crying over spilled coffee. It's not about the coffee. It's about the 10 years of tears you never cried. That overflow is what you call overwhelm. How do you know if you are just tired or if you are in a state of chronic emotional overload? The signs can be subtle and they often masquerade as personality traits. Do you replay old conversations in loops? We call this rumination. You dissect every word, every facial expression, looking for proof that you messed up. This is your brain trying to control the uncontrollable. It believes that if you analyze the past enough, you can prevent pain in the future. But all it does is rob you of the present. Maybe small things drain you deeply. A crowded room, a messy kitchen, or a phone notification sound makes you want to crawl into a hole. This is sensory sensitivity, a hallmark of a fried nervous system. You might struggle to verbalize emotions. Someone asks, "What's wrong?" and you honestly don't know what to say. You just feel full of noise. And perhaps the most common sign, you isolate. You pull away from friends and family because interaction feels like too much work. You crave silence, but when you finally get silence, your thoughts get louder. If this sounds like you, please listen to me. You are not crazy. You are not too dramatic. You are simply overloaded. You are a human being carrying a heavy load without a place to set it down. So, how do we fix this? How do we turn down the volume? The natural instinct is to try and control it. We try to force ourselves to stop thinking. We say, "Stop it, brain, be quiet." But fighting your mind only creates more noise. Healing doesn't start with control, it starts with release, it starts with softness. Let's talk about 3 practical psychological shifts you can make today. First, we need to get the thoughts out of your head. When thoughts stay in your mind, they loop. They have no beginning and no end. You need to linearize them. We do this through emotional journaling. But I don't want you to write a Dear Diary entry. I want you to do a brain dump. Get a piece of paper and write without thinking. Don't worry about grammar, spelling, or even making sense. If you are angry, write in all caps. If you are sad, let the tear hit the page. Just spill. When you see your thoughts on paper, they lose their power over you. You realize they are just words, not facts. Secondly, we must reduce input. Your brain is tired of processing data. In the age of social media, we are constantly consuming other people's lives, other people's problems, and other people's opinions. Give yourself permission to disconnect. Create a low stimulation hour in your day. No phone, no music with lyrics, just you and a simple task like folding laundry or drinking tea. Give your nervous system a break from the constant signal. And thirdly, name your feelings. This sounds simple, but it is profound neuroscience. Dr. Dan Siegel calls it name it to tame it. When you feel a wave of overwhelm, instead of saying, "I am a mess," say, "I am feeling anxiety right now," or "I am feeling grief." When you label an emotion, you move activity from the emotional part of your brain, the amygdala, to the thinking part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex. You give the emotion a direction. You acknowledge it without becoming it. You don't need to fix everything today. In fact, trying to fix everything today is exactly what got you here. You just need to give space to what you've been avoiding. You need to treat yourself with the same kindness you give to everyone else. Imagine if your best friend came to you crying, exhausted and overwhelmed. Would you tell them to work harder? Would you tell them they are being dramatic? No. You would tell them to rest. You would hold space for them. Can you do that for yourself? Healing is not a destination, it is a practice. It is the practice of coming back to yourself again and again. You are not lost. You're just overloaded. The peace you are looking for is not in a different job, a different relationship, or a different city. It is right here underneath the noise. It begins with awareness, and that awareness has begun right now in this video. Take one more deep breath with me. Inhale and exhale. You are okay, you are safe, and you are enough exactly as you are. If this message resonated with your soul today, if you felt a little bit lighter, please consider joining our community. Subscribe to Cypress Speaks, The Healing Mind. We are building a sanctuary here on YouTube, a place where we can all heal, grow, and find clarity together. Your journey to inner peace continues here, and I am so honored to walk it with you. Until next time, be gentle with yourself.